Hi everyone, and welcome back. Today we are getting into one of my most anticipated reads of the year. Now, of course, that book is Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. And if you didn't know, this is a very new release. It just came out on February 7th. So for some information about this book, I had actually intended to pick this up in a mini book haul I'm planning to do at the end of the month. So if you enjoy book hauls, be on the lookout for that because I do intend to still do that at the end of the month. But the reason that I picked this one up early is because on the week of release, I started to see people saying that they were having a hard time finding it and that it was selling out in their stores. So I decided to check my local Target on their app, and it said that they still had limited stock. And sometimes it says that and they're actually sold out, or sometimes it's just not right. So I figured that I would go and see if I could find it. And at first I could not find this book anywhere, and I was so upset. But then I just walked the other book aisles and found this tucked away in a completely different spot, in a spot that it's not even meant to be in. Maybe like someone picked it up and decided to get something else. I don't mind. They changed their mind and now it's mine. In this book, we are following Haley Welch, who fell hard for Julian Voss in high school when they almost kissed at his family's winery. So now Julian has moved back to this super small town that they live in, and of course, it happens to align perfectly with Julian's mom hiring Haley to do some gardening around their estate. We quickly realize that Haley is still pretty obsessed with him, and she is wondering and hoping that she is going to see him while she is working at his family's estate. Now, as these stories go, the grumpy man that she meets is not the perfect boy that she remembers being in love with in high school. After their very brief interaction, which Haley has been dreaming about for years, she realizes that they are polar opposites and their personalities kind of clash horribly. So since Haley is feeling pretty bummed, realizing that Julian is not who she thought that he was all of these years, she decides that she is going to have her best friend come over. They're going to have some wine and they're just going to enjoy each other's company, and she is going to move past this. So they do exactly that. They're enjoying their time, they're drinking their wine and just having a great time together. And we start the story the next morning where Haley starts to remember that she did something that she thinks she might regret this morning. So we uncover that Haley left a drunken secret admirer love letter at Julian's house for him. Let's move on to Julian for a minute. So he is an Ivy League professor, but he decided to take a sabbatical and kind of just needs a mental break from everything that he has been doing. So he moved back to his family's estate and he is staying in their guest house, which happens to be where Haley is gardening. So he is there to work on a book, but he starts to find himself extremely distracted by this beautiful and eccentric gardener who's constantly outside of his window. But then Julian finds a secret admirer letter and he doesn't know where it came from. So he's kind of grappling with starting to think that maybe he has some attraction towards Haley, but also wondering who keeps leaving him these letters confessing how much they care about him. Julian starts to consider Haley to be a burst of color in his very grayscale life. He is very regimented. He has everything on a schedule. He irons his socks. He does not do anything that's not pre-planned or pre-written out on his schedule. Where Haley is completely opposite. She's eccentric and kind of has this chaotic energy that doesn't really make any sense, but is a little bit captivating. That's it. No more details for you. Let's get into my thoughts. Since I have shared some of the plot with you, I'm just gonna go right in and dive into some of the things that I didn't like about this book. I did not like the fact that Haley has been hung up on Julian for 15 years. So I'm going to go ahead and be honest and say that when I picked this book up, I did not read any of the synopsis. So that's my own fault. My impression of this book was that it was going to be like a rekindled second chance romance type of thing. I had thought that maybe they were in love in high school and found their way back to each other as adults, but that is not the case. She has just straight up been obsessed with him since high school, and that just feels really weird to me. This book was kind of just okay to me. I love a good cheesy romance, and this book does deliver on that. I just really didn't enjoy certain pieces of the plot, but I think that you will still enjoy this as long as you read the synopsis and you know what you're getting before you read it. Now, I know I kind of went right in and said what I didn't like about this book, so let me share that I did enjoy the characters, the writing style, and some other pieces of the plot. If you know anything about Tessa Bailey, she has some incredibly well-rated books. Now, this one is actually my first book by her, so I can't even compare how it is to her other books. I did notice, though, that on Goodreads, this one's currently rated 3.65 stars, I think, which seems very low for a Tessa Bailey book. So my thought is that maybe this one doesn't really hold up to some of the other books she's put out, but again, that is just my own thought on it. I've not read any of her other books, so I can't actually confirm for you. Don't you worry though, I do have some of her other books planned to read. Like I have It Happened One Summer Here, which I have heard really great things about, so I will still give her other books a try. I just didn't really love this one. Something to note about this book is that it's actually part of a duology Vine mess, or a Vine mess, something along those lines. And we had a lot of information about the second book before this one even released, so that's pretty interesting. The second book already has a title and a cover, and I will put that up here. It's called Unfortunately Yours, and it releases June 6th. I will absolutely be picking that book up and reading it because it was also on my anticipated reads for the year. So even though I didn't love this one, I'm still going to pick that one up and I will let you know my thoughts. If you are also interested in reading Unfortunately Yours, be sure to pick up your copy of Secretly Yours from Target because, as you'll notice here, they do have some exclusive content in the Target version, and the exclusive content is a sneak peek at Unfortunately Yours. I actually did not read the sneak peek when I finished Secretly Yours. I'm not sure why. I just felt like I really didn't want to get into part of the second book and then wait months to read it. I know some people really love that, but I don't. I'm just going to wait to read it when it comes out. Now that you know all of my thoughts, I would love to hear from you. If you have read this book, what were your thoughts? And did it live up to Tessa Bailey's other books? Because I really just have that feeling that this one isn't quite her normal style, but I want to see if I am wrong. So I will let you know what I find out when I read her other one that I have here, but let me know your thoughts on if you liked this one or if you didn't, and if you are planning to read the second one as well. Also, please let me know if there are any books that you would like for me to read and review for you, because I would be more than happy to do that. And also, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel. I have a ton of more things coming for you. Like I said, I am planning a mini book haul at the end of the month. I still have a whole shelf of books to review for you, so don't want you to miss out on those. And as always, I really appreciate you watching and your support, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!